Bad Girl Mystic here. It's Magic Monday. So last I left you, I was talking about life, all that's going on, how it affects us, the filter. And let's adjust that. April, we're in April. God, March seemed to crawl and it feels like April's just flying by. And we're coming up on a full moon. And the full moon is in Libra. And I am not an astrologer. I could never do the math, nor can I say it. But I do have an appreciation for astrology. 3 astrologers that I follow on Instagram that are my favorite, and I also follow on Facebook. That's how much I like them. Be My Life, Magical Soul Bitches, she just rocks. And Astro All Stars, very good friend of mine from back in the day that I met while traveling through Japan, and she has a wonderful, her astrology's also in Glamour magazine, which you can find online, so shout out to my buddy. Yeah, so we're in April. And one of the things that I love about witchcraft is the funnel that I put my attention to work my intentions. So for those of you that have been following along, last week I talked about listening to Deepak Chopra and his video that I put on the Bad Girl Mystic page. And I might share it again because I really liked it. It was about attention and intention. And we have entered, as of March 21st, around the spring equinox until May 1st, we are in the second chakra lined with the Celtic wheel of the year. So just to I like to keep a little I like my power bag and my dragonfly talisman for 2020, which dragonfly is transformation. And I just happen to have that dragonfly from an old tea ball that I had. So it got repurposed. So anyway, I'm just real quick March in review. As we all know, March was just a scary fucking roller coaster that we have been unable to get off. And so it was interesting to me to see where my intentions were of where I wanted to put my attention in March and what happened with it. So I love how this page turned out, my March moon page, and then I just didn't draw as much. Hold on. I love how the pink book turned out. That's kind of like how the dust turned out is my favorite. I've been working on the black backgrounds. Not doing so great with it. And then with everything going on, and I talked about like fear and survival and triggers and everything else, my creativity got all jammed up. So I wasn't coloring as much. I was just too tired to do it. But I worked a little bit on this page. And I find it interesting. I was listening to the song I Rise Up before like things got frightening. Like you could tell that shit was getting fucked up. But before it crossed over into frightening, I wrote I Rise Up because she was talking about air, scrying with air and incense. And I was thinking about smoke and personal power and rising up and putting that intention as I watched the smoke rise up. Then we had spring equinox, and the message I got from my fairy oracle was listen to my heart, be in awareness. And I never finished that page. So just kind of showing you, like, I have ebbs and flows with my creativity. Sometimes stuff gets done, sometimes it doesn't. Here's a broom that I did. And I just, once again, it was like a really not my usual. Like I usually get more intense and add more of everything when I color and draw. But honestly, this is where I was at. And I like the way that turned out. Very, very simple. Here I was still practicing with more dark background. I wanted to do like a labradorite. And then the everything kind of, like, I use gel crayons to kind of smear out the colors. And I like the way my green suitcases turned out. And then here we get towards the end, mid-March and the end of March, like I said, when shit started getting scary. And I lightly went in and did stuff. New Moon, I pulled the card. Captive Man, Release, Freedom. So for me, because I do know where my awareness is and where I want to put my focus. Hey guys. All this has deep meaning for me. And then at the end of the month, I did a end of the month inventory. My list of fuck no's and boos and stuff that happened, cycles I'm in that I want to move through and get through. My oohs, what was awesome that happened, gratitude, and then just kind of like a recap of what adulting we got done, what we had to do to take care of our nests, what play did I engage in, what did I do with my craft. So keeping that focus. And then I talked about this little quote, what wisdom came into my awareness was, if my attention is to move as quickly as possible from task to task, then my survivor brain is activated. And then my focus of the present goes to the back seat for survival, and my intention becomes about the priority to avoid more pain, avoid heartbreak, avoid grief, avoid attention, and avoid people's awareness. So I thought about, okay, today I just want to finish March. You know, my goal was this year was with this planner, I wanted to color every page and be fully aware. And shit happens, right? So, I went in the review of March because what I've started doing, Alexis Raccoon, I believe is how you say her name. She's a great artist. She's also a spiritual seeker. I follow her on Instagram. And what I like is she has these questions that she shared at the end of the month. But I didn't do it at the end of the month. So I'm going to do this on full moon. I'm putting it as my full moon check-in. And that kind of works better for me. Give you some time to think about it. So I'm grateful that in March, and ask myself, just take time to sit with that, see what comes up effortlessly, intuitively. What's the words or pictures that pop in my head. Some wisdom I became aware of. Now, she puts learn. I purposely use the word aware because that's where my attention is at. This is the theme that's coming up for me. These are the things that are landing in my trajectory, where I'm putting focus. And then the last question is, in April, I intend. So we all have the best intentions of what we want to accomplish, and the more focus we get and the more we can drop into it with our sensory awareness, the better results we will manifest. And then I'll do a full moon oracle pull tomorrow. But I like to prep April. So usually what I do is I look for like the affirmations. I look for like the flowers like this. She has peony, energetic, and psychic protection. Peridot, which is a beautiful green crystal, moving forward. Everything feels very stagnant right now. I do have some peridot on hand. It'd be nice to work into a bracelet. Moss pink, harmony. Her talisman she has is frog, transformation for April. I also like to color block my month with highlighter beforehand so I don't lose anything in detail. And it's the pink moon. And then underneath on the very bottom, she has new and waxing moon, full moon, waning and dark moon. So for full moon, she's got energy, strength, growth, happiness, and resurrection of true self. And the Be That Life video I watched on the Libra full moon, which I shared on the Bad Girl Mystic page, she talks a lot about not only are we going through a intense transformation as humanity globally on the planet, and it's this huge thing, but the microcosm and the macrocosm, we are also going through our own personal intense transformations along with this. And she was saying that in addition to this huge shift that we're going through, and I talked about this a little bit last week, is that Mother Earth is also going through this huge transformation. As humanity has been put on lockdown, we're seeing a lot of restoration to Mother Earth's nature and beauty. Now she has geranium. I love the smell of geranium. Protection, health, and friendship. So instead of buying a geranium, this is where I would opt for the geranium essential oil. The spell she suggests is Witch's Garden, growing your magic on earth and in spirit. Very spring. I love that. And she talks about, which I found so apropos, here's that wonderful Magic Monday witchiness. Personal growth and change can feel disjointing and unsure. Unconscious mind assumes change means danger and alerts you by creating anxiety, even if the change is something you want. Dobby, indoor bark. Sorry, so people are coming in. So she suggests getting a plant. Microcosm and the macrocosm. Forgive the barking, please. It'll pass in a minute as soon as the people walk by. Side note, talking about manifesting, we moved into a different spot. The place where we have our RV, the spot we had before was very busy. There was a lot of people traffic, dog traffic, smokers, cars, things like that. And I had said when we first moved in, I liked this other spot that was previously occupied. And I kept saying to my husband, that spot would really suit us well. That's a really great spot. Let's keep an eye on that spot in case that person leaves. Well, it turns out the guy that was being such an asshole got evicted. I never placed a hex, never wished any other way. Just wanted to wait for the divine timing of the space to be open. Turns out we found out it was going to be open. We told the landlord, and we moved this month. And it is just really wonderful to be over here. So, a little about focus and attention and manifesting and timing and keep seeing it and talking about it and breathing life into it. So, just a little FYI I'm sharing. So, she has over here, grow rosemary to attract elves. And I like to highlight the moons. And I also have a moon app on my phone, just in case I don't have my planner available and I need to know the moon phase. Sometimes I forget. She also mentions clear quartz for channeling energy. Got me a beautiful piece of clear quartz I'm very good friends with. And she has a little tin, the metal tin, for elves and prosperity. So one of the things I like about doing with gardens is I love putting toys and statues. I have gargoyles and Buddhas and frogs and turtles, and I'm born on the Beltane. My birthday's May 1st, so I have a very strong connection to nature and fairy energy and green, everything green witchery. So I'm running out of time because Instagram, thank God, cuts me off at 15 minutes. But yeah, so I'm prepping April. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, stay frosty, stay safe, stay home. Peace out.